Hello and welcome to day 3 of my networking update V2 challenge. Okay. All right, so we'll just get right into it. Right. So I realized something yesterday, like right after the call. Um, the remember when we were looking at the DNS propagation of our subdomain, and it was saying invalid host name. Um, and so it wasn't propagating. Uh, there was something I didn't like about the host name, and so I realized underscores are not supported in host names, and so I just renamed on Namecheap. I just renamed a Matchbox server to just Matchbox, and then it worked. And then also I realized, well, I found out that in the settings of the app, it still works without this, but you can add a domain here, and this will basically let you know if it's been propagated yet or not. So yeah, I guess it will compare the results between the two, or something. Oh, or it will just check the propagation. So now it's already fully propagated by now, but yeah, you could see when I'd added it. So I don't have to go to a different site to check the propagation. And then also, I guess it gives you that live app URL using your domain directly here. Although both links work. If I go to, let's see. I thought, yeah, both somewhere there's a place where both are listed. Right here. If you go to settings, domains, and you can see both are still listed here. All right, so there we go. So just to show you that actually works, yeah, we get the expected message here. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna use this URL directly in our code. Right here. All right, and let's get rid of this HTTPS. There we go. Which is the same as the URL we already have, just this is with our domain. All right. So now that that's solved, yeah, I don't think we need to do anything anymore relating to hosting stuff or Docker even, I guess. All right, so let's get back into yeah, I wanted to let players join once the game is already started. And so yeah, I noticed that the rooms and number of players, I guess, are not used simultaneously. It's like one or the others, and then the rooms don't even really work. I don't know, it looks like when 2 people join, and that's it, and then other people are not getting in the room. But I don't know, this is kind of weird to me. It's almost like rooms is what we want, but it's not working right. So maybe let's look into that. Like I should be continually letting people in. Right, so there's the room URL, connected server, and then the new GGRS. So the thing is, this new GGRS does not come from our code, it comes from the library. And so if there's something we want to change in here, we'll have to create our own version of that function. And we looked at this yesterday. Yeah, so it's essentially a bug in GGRS, not necessarily a matchbox itself, but it could be matchbox, but I think much more likely to be GGRS. Right. So yeah, let's see. Right, and then the other thing is the error probably doesn't come from here, right? This is just, well, I mean, maybe, but what I wanted to point out is that in my main here, like this is just what starts the connection, but on the receiving end, where connections are accepted, that's somewhere else. And this one's just for the UI. Let's see, I think it's this one. Yeah. And so I think this is worth looking at first. So here we're looking at, you know, when peers join, yeah, and we get logs whenever a peer connects. That's all this does. And then connected peers, we get the count and then the remaining. So like automatically you can already see here, it's expecting like a number of players. It doesn't even matter whether you specify a room or a number of players. And let's see, it's using argument.players for that. So even if you specify, if you use the room and you're connecting with the room. Okay, so basically what I'm seeing here basically is that it's just all rooms, but the number, when you specify a number of players, you're basically creating a room that whose name is the number of players, right? And so yeah, and I believe that works right. So like if you have a number of players, and the game starts and you join the same, I guess, room name, which is the number of players, you get a parallel game with no issues. But there's definitely an issue when it's just a room name. For some reason. All right, wait, hold on. That's a little weird to me. So basically, this is the room name if there's players. And then otherwise, it's just the room ID, that like the name of the room, right? And so it connects. The URL is yeah, the matchbox URL and the, so I don't know why the matchbox URL is necessary here. But I guess it uses it somewhere to know where to connect. And then slash, and then either this or the yeah, so basically this is a room name, I can tell. All right. So it had some issues with when we were specifying room name yesterday. I mean, it was starting the game with 2 players, and then the other ones were just kind of desynced. I'm not sure why. I kind of want to test that again. Because it should have worked the exact same way as if you said number of players too. right? Or wait, let me look at that again. Yeah, so room, when you specify a room, it takes preference over the number of players. And if I look at args, number of players, well, it's always being used though, because there's always a value. Like we'll see, like we see on the other end, the other function. But yeah, if room, because room can be none. If room is not specified, it's just going to name the room with the number of players. Okay. Yeah, I think, well, oh, there we go. Okay, room. It's an option. Option string, which means it can have no value. All right. So where was I? Not here. Start socket. Here, lobby system. All right. So every frame, it'll log connections, and then waiting for remaining players. All right. So yeah, to correct what I was saying earlier, it's not either the room. That's not either room based or number of players based, but it uses the number of players to call that a room. Because I guess you always need to specify the room, even if you're not joining by room. All right. All right. So we get the message here into the UI. That's the message we see. If remaining is greater than 0, return. So this is where it'll wait for everyone to be present. Now, you can just set the default number of players to 1 and for it to not wait, right? And then we just have to make sure that it's still allowing players to join while the game is running, right? So I'm going to go ahead and change this default to 1 already. I know that's what I want as the default. We could always, of course, specify a higher value and then wait. All right. And so if everyone's here, this is still happening every frame, at least as long as we're in the lobby state, right? So here, when we add all our resources, the lobby system is run on update inside of app state lobby. Once we get in game, this is not running anymore. So definitely we'll have to keep this one running even when we're in game. So that's something we'll have to do. Let's see, that's where it was, lobby system. All right, and let's just make sure that there isn't anything here that we're missing. All players have joined. Okay, going game, extract final player list. Okay, it's going to use this somewhere, I guess. Session build. Okay, so it's building the P2P session here. Probably can't exactly have a brand new P2P session built every frame, right? I mean, I'm assuming that's not how this is intended to be used. But if there's a new player, you might have to. All right, so we've got all the configuration here, and then for each player, session build equals session build add player. Okay, so we're calling add player to add every player to that. Can we just reuse the same session build and call add player on again? Is what I'm wondering. Channel socket dot take channel. Start P2P session. Oh yeah, I think I remember looking at this like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now. Or maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. So once the session is started, okay, and then it adds it out as a resource. Transition to in-game states. So I think instead of running this in both the lobby and in-game, we might just end up creating a system that runs in-game and just does the add player. The thing is, okay, when it starts a session, let's go to, okay, start session. Then for each player, the registry handles contains key. So that's it. Oh wait, no, that's just the beginning. All right, so it's gonna do all this. It has these checks. Looks like make sure that it has everything it needs for the number of players it has. And then it creates an endpoint. Right. Let's see. So create endpoint. And then yeah, it uses all those things. I was making sure I had enough of. Yeah, so this create endpoint is basically the key part of this function. Key part of what it does, start the synchronization. And then this, the main important thing here is synchronize. And then this, protocol states. If we add a player halfway, maybe they won't be synchronizing, or maybe we do need to do all that stuff, but just for that player. And that's not part of the add player function, I think, but we'll have a look. Send sync request. Yeah, queue message. So there's a bunch of stuff here that happens when we start the session. When we add the player, let's just kind of set up, I think. Let's see. Okay, if the player handle is already in use, player handle already in use. Right, because okay. It's valid. Player handle is greater than local players. It's greater than number of players. Okay, yeah. So the value can't just be anything. It's literally the index of the player. Remote. Is that the spectator one? No, spectator. Local remote. Oh yeah, okay. So that's yourself. It's okay. So for a spectator should be non-players or higher. All right. So already I can see that if we had a player mid-game and there's already like some spectators, that all has to be like reordered. But right now we're not dealing with spectators. Maybe we can not run into issues with that, but definitely The only thing this does is add the handle to the player registry. And then that's it. So like all this stuff that happens in start PvP session, we'll have to do it for that player as well. But yeah, that's it. So I think we can just call this. Wait, sorry. The add player. But we'll have to do a little bit of extra work after that. And if we had spectators, then we'd have to like, I guess, remove them and add them at the end of the list, or at least update their handle. Yeah. Where does this player type come from? Oh yeah, we pass it in. Okay. Yeah. So I guess even spectators get added to the same, player registry list. But yeah, we could iterate that. Is this public? So I want to know, can we work with this? Yes. Okay. And then add player handles. Is that public? Yes. Okay. So looks like we can work around this. So yeah. Let me take one more look at start PvP session. So we won't have to do this for every player, but for the one player that joined already in the game, we can. Oh, well, the local doesn't need to do anything, but everyone else who's kind of accepting that new player joining, they need to do either this or this. It looks like specters, remotes. Yeah. All right. So we definitely do not need to call start PvP session again. I don't think. Hopefully not. So yeah, we'll create a system. And I guess we can let this transition to in-game because this is where the transition happens. But we'll create a system, I guess, in-game, which does a similar thing. Isn't it listens for connecting players. I'll just create that system right here because this is where all the lobby and networking stuff happens. If I lump it into box game, that has more like the game logic. All right. Then are we gonna call this lobby system? Maybe not in-game system, but in-game. It's not in-game system. Even lobby system. Accept connections in-game. Or like late connections, or like joining late joins. And the late joins. Yeah, let's just call it handle late joins and game joins. Just handle joins because the game's going to start even with just one player, at least by default. So handle new player joins. Players. joining players. Okay, so add peers. Where was this? So we'll use session build. We'll need this resource. I don't see it, but it should be in here. Commands, insert resource. Okay, so because it's been inserted, there's nothing here yet, but we'll have to query that resource and then add to players. What's that? Add player handle. So and then player here, it's players that enumerate. This is just the player type. Okay. Players that's coming from socket.players. So I guess we need this socket.players. I guess we'll keep calling this. Yeah. So socket. And I have to query also the session. The type of this is session, PvP session. Let's be happy with this. Just this. That's a generic, so it needs to know what type this is, I guess. Need to be session T. So like, I guess the type is something like session GGRS config. Is that right? Yeah, it would be. Where did I see that? GGRS. Okay. At the end, maybe. P2P session GGRS config. Oh, that's the value of what we're passing in here. Right. But the actual type here is session. Yeah, I got a little confused here. Okay, so we have it. And then, is that it? Guess it's happy with this. I'm not 100% sure that's the type here. Session, PDQ session. This is a variant inside of this, so the type is definitely session. Okay. And then the generic is t config. And we are passing session, which is a, okay, P2P session GGRS config. Right. So a little different. It's P2P session. Yeah, and that's GGRS config. All right, so I think okay, so they're not happy. Okay, this isn't happy. About so okay, we have session, P2P session. Right, okay, so this is an enum variant, not generic. So maybe it was good already. Session P2P session, and then because that's just a variant. I mean, I just need the type session. Look at session again. Session deconfig. Okay, I think I had it right. It was fine. Because the type is session, and then I just need the T here. I don't need this type. It was already right, and then I birthed it. All right. So we got the socket, we got the session. Let's go ahead and copy this, just because I think that would be useful to log that even when the game's running. But maybe we add a little something so we can tell the difference. So in game, maybe we'll call the other one, let's say lobby. All right, just so we can tell the difference, and then, but we don't need to do anything with that. Players, we'll need this. Okay, the final player list, and I think this player list is sorted, right? That's what I want to make sure. Yeah, the handle that we're passing is just the index in this list, so pretty sure this is sorted. So we'll get the list, and then we'll have to call join with the last player in the list. Not join, but add player. And we'll call that on session build. So session. Okay. Session. Interesting here that the add player is calling this, and then it's assigning it to overwrite the previous one. But I think, why is it doing that? I'm not sure. Is it because if it were mutating inside this loop, would that be an issue? No, it's not the same. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it this way. Let's maybe make sure add player returns results self. Okay, but add player does mutate self. So whatever returns, I guess, it's just so that you can chain handles insert. Okay, so well, yeah, I don't need to assign. This will copy, so yeah, I don't have to assign. I mean, it returns does it return? Does it consume self? Does it return self? Guess we'll find out. But I mean, yeah, I would want to unwrap. Maybe that's why. So I can easily check the result. Hopefully that's not an issue when it's already running. Okay, session dot add players. add player. So the I will be players dot length minus one, and then player with index. Okay, let's just last index player length minus one. Just call it last. Okay. Um, yes, players. Oh, okay. This DS. No method named add player found. All right. Session dot add player. The start P2P session doesn't return the same thing, does it? P2P session T. This was session builder. Right. So we don't have this session builder anymore. We can't call add player. Definitely cannot call add player. Yeah. That's on the session builder. What we have is, let's see what P2P session has. P2P session GGS compute. It's a struct. So we do have GGS config as a generic. So, and then so okay. There are players in the session. Is there like an add player? New. Maybe do we use this new? Can I, okay, can I get the list of all methods on this thing? I go here, session dot. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't think so. You know what? Let's just lock this for now. Just make sure we're getting the behavior that we want. If the player connected, oh yeah, we don't want to do this all the time. Only when a player is connected. All right, so so whenever a player connects, we're gonna log the player type. We're connected. Let me just rewrite all this. New player, because I'm not 100% sure we'll even get here. The players can actually join this list. The game's already running. So new player, and then this. There, this would be to type. And then handle. Okay, the type, that would be players last. Because players is an array of player types. All right. And then just last. It's a lot of colons. There. Okay, so this should compile, but does it work? Because I might be just naively believing that socket is continually working. But if I look at the systems, okay, start matchbox socket. I mean, I should probably take a look at this one. Lobby system, lobby cleanup. So it's got to clean up in here. Oh yeah, start matchbox socket. We've seen this. Lobby cleanup. Let's just make sure. What is it cleaning up? Oh, the lobby UI. Okay. So maybe it's fine. Start up. Okay, yeah, this might actually work. So if it does, that's great. Because that would mean that we do have an ongoing connection with the signaling server, I guess. So players can keep joining. That was kind of odd. So somehow fail and it's only one player. Let's just refresh that. That's right. Okay, so that was really fast and then it grows. So I wonder if that's an issue with just being one player. Yeah, but I need to get them to join the same room, which they are. They are. Okay. So no, they're joining the same room, but it's a single player room, so they should have individual games. But it doesn't look like it's happy to let me join an individual game. So for now, we'll have to resolve that, but for now, just so that we can test this, let's make sure that the default players is 2, which seems like the minimum. Here's sure 2 players. It should be good to go. And I just realized like we created that system, but we never added it. Also, why is this failing? We didn't change anything, did we? Match box. I mean, we have an issue here. Default players is 2. Oh yeah, but gotta leave in shape for default players too. I guess I could have just specified it here. Can't do that. Not too late. It's already compiled. Another browser. Join was the 3rd player. I might have to specify the room. Wait, maybe not. Maybe not. Player. Give that player to them. Yeah, and then there's gonna be the scene setup. That isn't happening on the in-game. But at least we should see the logs, right? Oh, wait. Why is this not working? They should be finding each other. Just some kind of slowness. We have something going on with DigitalOcean. Or not DigitalOcean, but a service that's running on there. What's the resource usage like? Around 11%. Insights. CPU. It's pretty constant. That was at 7% yesterday, so something happened. But yeah, the computer just got these little bunch. There's no resource issue. Okay, I'm gonna check the console. Connection failed. I just failed. I can't even connect to the signaling server. But the signaling server is live. Yeah. And then yesterday we did we tested it with the other link. Yesterday, did we not? All right. Let's make sure. I should stop closing this one because it looks like I need to come back to it regularly. Settings. Settings. Domains. This was the other domain. Yeah, we should get the exact same result for regardless of which domain we're using. But Matchbox equals. Oh, we forgot the port number. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Okay. Very important. We need that port number. We could probably make this use port 80 so that this doesn't happen. Yeah. And Flamishes. Mm, Connecting. Um, there's no error yet. All right. Right. And even if it worked, we didn't have a system, so we wouldn't be able to see the log. So let's add this. Um, Here we're gonna add it to this thing. These systems always running? I thought they were only running in game. Well, that's really only in game. Mm, there's if this would ever be problematic. The fact that they're not. Yeah, these should only be running in the game. Not update in game, I guess. So we can find before. So before I start introducing other stuff, let's just make sure that we did fix this thing. Schedule. Where's this teacher schedule? Let's see anyway. Oh, okay. This must be um an empty strip. Okay. Well, this is fine. Make sure good here. We should have already found each other by now. But let's look at the tools. Something I'm actually error. So it's still connecting. Did not get a connection successfully yet. Um, what happens if I do 3536 here? This one should not because yes. Yeah, the browser shouldn't be able to do this. Or is it because, oh, okay, it failed to connect. More detail? No. Mm, Hey, wait a minute. No, it's not the port. This is the right URL. There is no port because we're forwarding port 80, are we? There was never a port number on this. See this URL here? It's this, yeah. Sorry, I was wrong about the port. And I mean, I can regulate the regulation. Here's, I remember in ports, yeah, in settings. I was routing port 80 to 3536 somewhere. Right, I'm not sure where that was. Pretty sure. Here? No. Here, HTTP port. That's the port of the container, and then the URL. Yeah, we don't need the port. So that's my bad here. I thought maybe that was the issue, but it's not. This is the right URL. So, okay, something else is wrong then. This is for sure the right URL. And then here, yeah, that's good. So, I mean, it works. We're getting this from the browser, which is what we would expect. And then, oh, it worked now? Okay. Not sure why it didn't work before. So we've got two players, they're playing. And then let's try and join them. So we've got the same room name. Waiting for one more player. If we'd done it by room name, would this still happen? I think it doesn't matter. I think yeah, these guys are gone already. Something gets cleaned up. Or they disconnect or something. Total count 1, count 2, and 3. There it is. Other events. Let's make this easier for us. And disconnected. Well, first, oh yeah, disconnected because we want to full screen like this, but let's see. Copies of join going in game. All right. We're not getting any of those logs, by the way. Are we? Oh yeah, lobby. Lobby, pair ID. Connected. Okay, so we're looking for an in-game pair ID connected. All right, skip the frame. 16 starts with in-game. Nope. So new peers do not connect once the game started, which makes sense because if people never disconnected from the Matchbox server when they didn't need the Matchbox server, well, that would be an unnecessary load. But I just didn't see where that was happening, so yeah, maybe I'm not seeing Something that's right in my face, so taking a look again. But yeah, it's not there. All right. So that confirms my initial suspicions. There is, in fact, some kind of cleanup or disconnection. It's not um, it's not able to see new players. Right. The other option is maybe the players just not. Yeah, I guess they're not seeing new players. They're not probably not even connected to the signaling server anymore. What's this take channel? Right. It's using this inside the start PvP session. Give an ID. It's always 0, I guess. Okay, I guess it just passes that into start PvP session. Handle joint players. In game. Hmm. Can I add the system right? Yep. In game. So you have yeah, this should be running. So what's happening? GTRS. URL. So if I join a room URL, okay, that your room URL is just people are connected and waiting. Lobby system remaining, and then it's just waiting for returns. So if something is doing after this, there's my expedition. Is any of this like consuming the socket, or maybe it's this socket take channel? No, because everyone's doing this in parallel. On their own side. I mean, maybe takes doesn't take consume. Wouldn't it consume? I think take would consume the socket, and probably there'd be nothing left, right? Either way, that wouldn't matter here. The new player hasn't called this yet. The new player joining is at. Oh, okay. The new player joining is at. It's still blocked at 2 players because we have this launching. Where is it? This logic here. So what if I joined? So I need to join the same game. Hold on a second. What if we had 2 players joining? Basically, they joined 2 by 2. Oh, okay. This player lost sync. There. Guess they're matched diagonally. Let's just see if these guys get the notification. Of course, they're not synced. So let me hurry up before we get too many logs. Did we get the event? Well, the log, not the event, but Your ID. No, we didn't get anything. Wait, they're not connected. What if I did by room? If it was max players one, the game would start and no one would be able to join. Yeah, which makes sense. Why number of players one would just, well, it might have worked. I'm not sure what's causing it to freeze up when it's one player, but so we had two players join the same room, and they passed this point because there was two players joining. But this didn't trigger. Okay, it kind of appears connected or disconnected success. Yeah. Appears a giant going in game. So let me get this right. So we have from this socket here is coming, is type of this is matchbox socket. Yeah. And that's from Bevy Matchbox. But then GGRS is what actually syncs the players and the components and all that stuff, right? Or not. Let me make sure. Is GGRS a separate dependency? Yeah, we've got Bevy Matchbox and we've got Bevy GGRS. So I think because we could definitely like have a system that's running all the time, not just in lobby, right? That could just simply detect players. For some reason we didn't get the logs here, but I suspect maybe when we did a take channel, I don't know, succubus, maybe not everything anymore. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'm going to run our new system all the time. Right, so yeah. Let's run it all the time. So just so it's easier to see. And can I run it all the time? If I just add it to, can I add it to both? Okay. In game. No, it's okay. I don't need to add it to the lobby. But what I will do is log all the new states. Or no, not even. I'll log socket dot players. Yeah. So info, and I'll log all the players. Players. I'm just wondering if this is empty or if the players from the lobby is still listed in here. 8. There's the other thing. Comma. Subnet players. Okay. So I don't know how much information it's going to be able to display, but we should at least be able to tell the length of it, right? If it's an empty array or not. This is an array, right? There's, yeah, it's a array. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Recompile. All right, even if we don't have the third player joining, this should still be logging the list of all players, and we'll see whether this list still contains the existing players or if it's a fresh list. I'm just wondering. Yeah. And then once we know that, I guess we could assume that this maybe there must be a system that's not running anymore. Okay, I think we've got too many windows here. Let's just, okay. Remote, local. So we've got both players in here. And I don't want to join here. So waiting for one more player. At what point do the new players get added to this list? I can. Okay. All right. At what point? These are not. They're not getting new players, but they have their existing players in here. So that's, yeah, that's what I want to see. Where's this? There's socket. Matchbox socket, single channel. I wonder if it's the take. No, because after the startup, this is still has the players. So, we probably missed something. Matchbox socket. Is this? Oops. No. I want to see. Is there anything else referencing this type? That's our function. Insert resource, new GJS. Lobby system. So I think it's a GGRS. I think maybe GGRS is in charge of filling this list in the first place. Where do we, there must be somewhere where we're registering something like listening for new connections. Sort resource. Brand count. Add plugins. Okay, so maybe did we add like a GGRS plugin somewhere? GGRS plugin, yes. Build app. And then we're adding these to the app afterwards. All right. I guess maybe this. Well, no, not this, but the system. Well, this is just registering a bunch of plugins. All these return plugin. And this new doesn't do anything. It's just the GGRS plugin. But then this gets added. And well, it gets built, I guess. But yeah, that adds it to the app. Frequency. I think we're looking for something else. It's just the default plugins for Bevy. There's your Sparks from count app state. It's the app state again. Yeah, that's the in game and lobby startup. And I feel like we've been through all of these. Spawn. Maybe I didn't notice this is not just for UI. Yeah, it's definitely just UI. Cleanup is also just the UI. On the camera, I guess. In the setup. Lobby system. Oh, socket update peers. Okay, so I guess this is how the list gets updated. Update peers, but we have it already in our function. Okay. So what I'm saying, like socket.players probably has a value now because of this, right? So so it's old peers insert. So self.peers. This is the peer state receiver try next. Okay, so while okay. So probably when there's nothing left. Oh, so okay, I'll iterate through all the stuff it has here. Changes. Old self appears insert. Why is it inserting ID state? Uh, is it calling? Okay, so it's adding whatever stuff here into self.peers. Then self.peers insert also returns what I inserted. Okay, if it did not have the key present, none is returned. If it did have it, then it's values updated and old values returned. He's not updated. Old value. Okay, so this would be none. If this is successful. So all right. If L is not equal to some state. What is state? Okay, some ID state. Okay. So the thing that we're trying to add, if old is, so something was returned, doesn't that automatically mean though that did not have this key present, none is returned. Did have it. Okay, so the key was present, but it didn't add it because well, it doesn't add it when the key's present, and it may or may not have been different. So if the old is not the same as what we would have added, then we do changes dot push. Okay, I get it now. And then we return changes at the end of this. So this update peers only returns what changed. It only returns the new players without changing the list of peers, I guess. Only if there's new peers, it does happen. Like brand new ones. If not, yeah, it only returns the ones that we tried to add, but it failed to add. Old is not equal to some. Yeah, it returns the ones we failed to add. But maybe the ones that were successful were, I guess, the initial ones. Returns the peers that connected or disconnected since last time this method was called. So, yeah, these are probably sorted in order of connection then, or something. Connected or disconnected. So, yeah, some of these have states. Some are just. Ah, okay, I see. So it's going to update them. But we get the state. So the change is going to be connected or disconnected. So like if you insert but it fails and returns something, but they were the same, that means you already had it. There was nothing to update. So it's, in effect, it's already updated. But if they're different, yeah, okay. Okay. Connected, disconnected. So this is maybe not going to help us to have the full list of peers because it's only going to return who connected and disconnected. And we've already established in the here that just never happens because none of this gets logged. So yeah, that didn't really help. Oh, hold on. Let me check one more thing. So handles peers connecting or disconnected. Update the set of peers. So I guess it still updates this peers, right? But if there's changes, it will return something. But if there's no changes, this changes would be empty. But it still did peers.insert. It doesn't actually update. Right, if any of this was different, like if a player existed, is it? Maybe connected never gets called, does it? I'm not sure anymore. Let's see. I don't know if I looked at the logs for in lobby. Connection failed. Are these old logs? These might be old logs. Yeah, why do we have all these errors? I don't know. I'll just create a new one. New tab. Just to make sure. Should not fail to connect. Okay, well, I just see something's going on. What's annoying? Oh, I'm out of time. All right, so we'll look into this more tomorrow. If you enjoyed this, like, share, subscribe. And I guess we'll see you tomorrow for day 4. Is it Wednesday today? Yeah. So yeah. Let me know if there's anything you want to see, anything you enjoyed, and give me some feedback. Thanks. Bye.